How impressive was Solomon's reputation? What makes a Christian's reputation shine? Wealth, wisdom, or good works? Let's begin in 1 Kings chapter 10. What did the Queen of Sheba, on the southern Arabian Peninsula, do when she heard of the wisdom of Solomon? And when the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bore spices, and very much gold, and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. What was her reaction? Did she bless God? Do people bless God because of what they see in us? And Solomon declared to her the answer to all her matters. There was not a matter which was hidden from the king, which he didn't declare to her. And the Queen of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Solomon, the house that he'd built, the food of his table, the seating of his servants, the disposition of his attendants and their attire, his cupbearers, and his stairway by which he went up to the house of Yahweh, so that there was no more spirit in her. Then she said to the king, "The words true which I heard in my own land, about your words and your wisdom. Nevertheless I didn't believe those words until I came and my eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not declared to me. You exceed in wisdom and prosperity the report which I heard. How blessed are your men! How blessed are these your servants who stand before you continually and hear your wisdom. Blessed be Yahweh your God, who delighted in you to set you on the throne of Israel, because Yahweh loved Israel forever. Therefore he made you king, to do justice and righteousness." Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and a very great amount of spices and precious stones. Never again did such abundance of spices come in as that which the Queen of Sheba gave King Solomon. What did ships bring Solomon from Ophir, which was near Sheba? How did the queen's visit end? And the ships of Hiram as well, which brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir a great number of almug trees and precious stones. The king made from the almug trees supports for the house of the Lord and for the king's house, and lyres and harps for the singers. Such almug trees have not come in again, nor have they been seen to this day. And King Solomon granted the Queen of Sheba everything she desired, whatever she requested, besides what he gave her in proportion to his royal bounty. Then she departed and went to her own land together with her servants. How magnificent was Solomon's throne! What other kinds of wealth was his? The weight of the gold that Solomon received yearly was 666 talents, not including the revenues from merchants and traders, and from all the Arabian kings and the governors of the territories. King Solomon made 200 large shields of hammered gold. 600 shekels of gold went into each shield. He also made 300 small shields of hammered gold, with 3 minas of gold in each shield. The king put them in the palace of the forest of Lebanon. Then the king made a great throne, covered with ivory and overlaid with fine gold. The throne had 6 steps, and its back had a rounded top. On both sides of the seat were armrests, with a lion standing beside each of them. 12 lions stood on the 6 steps, one at either end of each step. Nothing like it had ever been made for any other kingdom. All King Solomon's goblets were gold, and all the household articles in the palace of the forest of Lebanon were pure gold. Nothing was made of silver, because silver was considered of little value in Solomon's days. The king had a fleet of trading ships at sea, along with the ships of Hiram. Once every 3 years it returned, carrying gold, silver, and ivory, and apes and baboons. Did Solomon surpass every other king in wealth and wisdom? How much wealthier and wiser do we count eternity with God? So King Solomon surpassed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. Now all the earth sought the presence of Solomon, to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. Each man brought his present, articles of silver and gold, garments, armor, spices, horses and mules, at a set rate each year by year. And Solomon gathered chariots and horsemen. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he stationed in the chariot cities and with the king at Jerusalem. The king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and he made cedar trees as abundant as the sycamores, which are in the lowland. Also Solomon had horses imported from Egypt and Keva. The king's merchants bought them in Keva at the current price. Now a chariot that was imported from Egypt cost 600 shekels of silver, and a horse 150, and thus through their agents they exported them to all the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Syria. How important is it to be a good example? What is our light that shines? You are the light of the world, a city located on a hill that can't be hidden. Neither do you light a lamp and put it under a measuring basket, but on a stand, and it shines to all who are in the house. Even so, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who's in heaven. How impressive was Solomon's reputation? What makes a Christian's reputation shine? Wealth, wisdom, or good works? You decide.